Good evening friends. Now in today's demo I am going to show you how to create a model, and with the help of model we can create a buffer. So here is my Chilkul save file whose projection is WG64 UTM 44 zone, and I want to create a buffer using model. So in processing what you have to choose is model designer. So this is my model designer, and here are three things. One is your model properties, other is algorithm, and one is input. So model properties is the model name. So my model name is buffer final NIGST. So this is my name, buffer final NIGST. Now here if you want to create a buffer, you have to choose algorithm as buffer. So here is my algorithm. So I have to choose algorithm as buffer. So I am making this small. So here is my buffer algorithm. So this is my buffer algorithm. This I have to choose. So for creating buffer I require an input vector layer. So for that I have to use inputs. So in inputs I have to choose vector layer. So this is my vector layer. Here is my vector layer. So this is my input buffer file. So this is my input layer. Geometry type is, you can choose either point, line, polygon, or any geometry type. Okay, so this will be my input. Now here what you have to do is, again you have to choose a distance, because I want distance as an input parameter. So here is my distance in input. From input I am choosing distance, inputs and distance. So here in description I am writing as distance for buffer, and here just have to do is OK. Now again go to algorithm. Now you have to choose the algorithm. Now our algorithm is buffer, so just drag and drop buffer to this canvas. So here it is asking your description. So buffer is only my description, it is not showing anything. So here using model input is my input buffer file, and this is the distance. I want to make it as a variable. So here is the small button. See, this is a small button. So if I click on this small button, it is at present it is showing checked in as value. So I have to choose it as a model input. So automatically it has taken distance from the buffer. Now go to this buffered. Here you have to choose this small button and make it as model output. So this is model output only. Now again I have to provide the output name. So buffer output file. So this is my buffer output file. Okay, so here is my model. See, this is my model. If you click on this plus button, it will show you the relation. So this input is this input, this distance is this distance. So from this distance this parameter is getting filled, and from this input this parameter is getting filled. And if you click on this plus button, this is buffered, temporary buffered, so it is going to output file. Again you have to do is what, you have to save this file. So again go to model and save this model. Save model as buffer final NIGST. And where I want to save, I don't want to save in profiles default, I want to save in my folder Anand. So this is my folder Anand, and I want to save it as buffer final NIGST. Save it. So this is my model name, buffer final NIGST, and my model properties same, buffer final NIGST. So if you want to run, you have to validate it. So validate model. So model is validated. Again this is the run command, you have to run. Now here it is asking you distance in meter. This is your input file. You can choose from canvas. See, I am only having one file on canvas, so it is showing Chilkul only. You can select from these three dots. Now this is the output file. Either you choose create temporary layer or you just choose save to file. Now if suppose if you want this distance to be in below input buffer file, so what you have to do is, again you have to do reordering. How to do that? There is one option here. In inputs there is one option called reorder model inputs. So if click on this, make this down. So now my first option is input buffer file, second is distance for buffer. Okay, now see, I'm closing this all. So if you run it, now input buffer file is my first input, buffer is distance for buffer is second, and buffer output file is my third. If you provide the values, it will run. So I'm closing this. Now again I am closing this, save it. Now if you want to add this model into a toolbox, so what you have to do is go to toolbox. Here in this first option, this is models, and you have to add model to toolbox. Again, which model you want to add, and I want to add buffer final NIGST. Again open. See, in model, if you click on model, see these are all the models. Previously I have added these two models, so this is my buffer final NIGST. If you right click execute, it will execute, the model will be executed. Right click, if you want to edit the model, this is the edit model, and if you want to delete, this is the delete. And if you want to export it as a Python algorithm, so this is my Python. So this is the way to create a simple model. Thank you very much. Now I am closing this session.